Hey everyone, it's Sebastian back with another video for you today, and I'm here with Sergio Momo of Xerjoff. They are attending TFWA in Cannes, south of France, and they've got some great new launches and announcements to make. And today I'm going to discuss with him those particular launches and announcements. And we also have a discount code. It's SEB10 for fragrances off of Xerjoff Universe for the dates October 26th through the 30th. So find out about new fragrances and new exciting launches from Xerjoff coming right up. Thank you so much for doing this video with me, Sergio.
Hi, Sebastian. How are you?
Good.
Always nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well.
I guess this morning down your end and on the other side of the pond, like the English say. From our side is evening, and in beautiful Cannes, we have been blessed with the beautiful weather, so everything is going smooth so far.
So you've been blessed with the beautiful weather, and we've had disastrous weather. So that's interesting. That's good, though. Yeah. Let's. I guess we can just start right off the bat and discuss your latest release, CASAFUTURA.
Correct.
Tell me about this one, because when I was testing it out over the weekend, I was in Monterey, California. I wore it both days. It smells like roses and aromatics, and
Correct.
I looked up the notes because I thought there might be oud in there. I don't see oud listed. So tell me about this one.
No. I mean, the only wood that we have is basically the cedar wood, which is like, you know, it's pretty light and sweet as wood. No, this is something which I wanted to do for a long time, and well, obviously it's an extension line of Casamorati, like you rightly said. This is the packaging. I don't know if you can kind of see
beautiful.
it.
Beautiful artwork.
The futuristic image is there. I mean, CASAFUTURA, of course, is a little game on wording. Casamorati, CASAFUTURA. Futura obviously is related to the art movement that we had at the beginning of the 20th century. The Italian artists were, I mean, in Italy, the artists representing the futurism in design and architecture were particularly important, and it combines very well of the history of Casamorati. So that's why I decided to have some kind of a artistic, hookup, the connection with that particular era. The fragrance as well. I think that we have some sort of a vintage approach. That's how I call it. Like you said before, obviously we have some classic starts like the bergamot, the lavender, but we have some rosemary as well, which gives a little bit of a herbal hint. And then we have the patchouli, which is of course is predominant. But then we have also an interesting flower.
Yes. What is this flower?
Yes, well, that is actually the description on the pyramid is the Latin description, but in English it sounds like the skeleton flower. Okay. I don't know if you ever heard of that. It's a beautiful flower which actually grows in the USA as well, in the Southeast Asia, and it's called like that because this flower, the petals, becomes kind of a transparent, and you can see the inside of the petal. That's why the name is skeleton. And I've always been intrigued by the infusion of this flower, so that's why I decided to introduce it to this new edition. All in all, something which is very much recreating the atmosphere of the beginning of the century.
Interesting. Okay.
Of course, and connected again with this very important era of the futurism, which was expressed particularly by artists living in the north of Italy. 100 ml, we have the 30 ml, and for any lover of vintage approach, let's call it like that.
Okay.
I think that is a nice choice.
Great, yeah. So let's see. It's available now for purchase. It's already been launched.
We launch it today as we speak. Yeah. So from today, yes, will be available.
The bottle is gorgeous too.
Yes, it's chrome gold, and yeah, and that we have the 100 and the 30 ml already available. Cool. So.
Is this a new thing that you're doing, 30 mLs of fragrances, or is this something that you've had before?
No, well, we launched it with Casamorati a while ago, a few years ago,
Okay.
and it proved to be quite successful. Casamorati has got a kind of an important flagon more than packaging in terms of weight and size and what have you.
Yeah.
So it's never been very comfortable for anybody to carry it when you're traveling or in your car or whatever. So the
Yeah.
30 ml actually proved to be a very good kind of alternative. The reason being that obviously the shape is exactly the same, but 1/3 smaller, so it becomes quite cute, and we follow all the obviously the design and the proportion. So in certain markets in the world, it goes extremely well,
Okay.
especially for the kind of customer who like to take the perfume with them, traveling or again in wherever they go. So it proved to be a very interesting size.
Yeah.
Because
very easy to
less than that,
transport.
very little. It's not a sample. It actually is a perfume. I mean, I don't know if you recall, a long time back, Creed used to have the 30 ml. Long time ago, which we didn't do anymore. It's a shame because I used to enjoy that size. Because I said, I mean, anywhere you travel is something which is comfortable, and then it's enough to stay with you for a few days, and it's not a small sample or anything like that. So with Casamorati proved to be quite successful. So as we launched the new CASAFUTURA, we immediately went in production for the 30 ml. So both sizes are available.
Great. Yeah. So one last question before we move on. The reason this ended up in the Casamorati collection, it just seemed like it was appropriate because the name, or how do you decide what fragrances end up where when you launch fragrances?
Casamorati at the beginning, a few years back when we relaunched it, we actually reformulated some original perfumes. I mean, in my personal collection, I do have some original juices, but obviously there are over 50, 60, 80 years old. So it was more important to understand the ingredients. So Mephisto, Fior d'Olivo, I mean Fiero, those were recreation of the original portfolio. And I believe, like I always said, they were kind of a expression of the Mediterranean style in terms of perfumery. But then Casamorati kind of took different kind of path, with 1888 working with the ambers, and Bouquet d'Al working with the spices and no flowers. So there was a little bit of experimentation going on in there. And but recently, especially with CASAFUTURA, I wanted to draw back the attention to the origin of Casamorati in terms of time, in the timeline. Because that's what Casamorati is where we, I believe, I mean, my personal view, the beauty of Casamorati is the history, is the heritage. So sometimes it's interesting to go back and have a look how perfume used to be created, and the difference between the Italian perfumery, the English perfumery, the French perfumery. So the whole continent, the way they were, the perfume was perceived. But obviously everything is always done in a kind of a modern key. Because distillation nowadays is completely different, blending is completely updated and different. So I believe we have a kind of with better results, if you want, a little bit more creative, a better balanced, and but nevertheless the style sometimes, like going back to the first chapter kind of thing. You have a book, and sometimes you write something completely new, and sometimes you go back to the beginning just to remember where everything started. Exactly. So it's good fun.
Yeah. So then this is not a older recipe. It's just a brand new recipe inspired.
Correct. Yeah. It was not part of the original portfolio, but I think the style, it fits quite well.
Good. Okay. Cool. So let's discuss. You have 2 new boutiques you're opening, right?
Yes. We thought that we are not busy enough, so we decided to open 2 new boutiques, and so the first one is in Monaco, in the south of France, which was a kind of a spot which it was pretty much missing in our addresses, because Monaco, as you may know, gather a lot of people from all around the world for many reasons, and a spot over there was missing. So we had a very good occasion to take over a place which I think it will be, in the right spot, which is in the Fairmont Hotel, which is an historical hotel in Monaco, and everything is ready. We are kind of are waiting for the last few licenses, because bureaucracy is very tough sometimes, but we are 90% there. So in a matter of a couple of weeks or so, we're gonna be able to open.
Nice.
It's not the best season, because, as you know, winter is coming this side of the world. But nevertheless, we're gonna open, and then maybe we wait for the racing season to do the grand opening. But anyway, sometimes we are very excited because the sizes is very interesting, and it's a very good challenge.
Nice.
And then. Like you mentioned before, it's another dream coming true. We are opening Milan finally, and we've been waiting a long time. We've been saying that for a long time, but as you know, the place is very important. The address is extremely important, and I think that we find the right spot.
Great.
So we've been rushing in building everything, and we are aiming to open in December.
Oh wow, that's just around the corner.
Yes, so because obviously December and Christmas is very important, and so it will be a very good kind of a benchmark to test,
Awesome.
the place and everything that we've been doing. And so yes, I mean it just happened that we had this kind of two important addresses, two important offers, which we took, and we are very proud to and within few months to open these two new important addresses.
Awesome. So you have the Torino open. You have a boutique in Lisbon as well.
Correct.
And then London?
We have Dubai. We have London. We have Dubai.
Oh, wow.
And what else?
USA next?
Sorry?
USA next?
Next, why not? We come to the warm country, yeah. So why not in San Francisco? Yeah, it would be nice.
All right.
It would be nice.
Awesome.
It would be nice.
So Monaco very soon. By December, Milan, and by the time I come to Milan in March, the store will be open.
Absolutely, waiting for you. Waiting for you.
Great. So you're launching candles. I thought you already had candles, right? Or no? Or
no, actually, I mean, we've been trying to have candle for a long time, but I was never kind of pleased with the result. So we keep kind of postponing and change our plan. Sometimes when you have a plan which just doesn't work, you need to start from scratch. So that's exactly what we did, and so we're launching seven candles.
Oh wow!
To begin with, one single size. Yes, one single size, and completely new fragrances, so they're not related to any collection of Xerjoff. So they're not kind of a eco. They're not making an eco on any of our fragrances. There are 7 new
scents.
Smell, if you can call them like that. Yeah. One important point, like as always, we have a special attention to packaging. So this time, we have created a candle, which unfortunately you can see the texture, but that candle are made in porcelain, in France. So hopefully you are aware of a kind of porcelain which is called Limoges. So Limoges is one of the finest porcelain in the world, which is always being used to make the most detailed statue for collectors throughout the last 300 or 400 years. So as far as I know, Limoges actually never produced any candle holders in this very fine porcelain. So hopefully, I'm not gonna swear on this, but hopefully we are the first one actually using this very fine porcelain to produce candles. And I'm pretty pleased because of, again, packaging, like is always being an important part of our brand, but also because this fine porcelain is so precious that obviously once the candle is finished, then you can use it for to whatever you like. So there is no wastage. You don't throw anything away, so you keep it. So we have two different pearlish color. Now, unfortunately, you cannot see it, but there is a kind of a pearlish finish into that. Yeah. One is white, one is dark. Also, the wax. 3 candles are black, and 4 candles are white, depending from the selection. We're gonna have a kind of a golden top, Sergio style, to close and to protect the wax. Natural wax, of course, beeswax, and not paraffin or anything like that. But that obviously we bring forward, our attached to nature and to natural elements. So we're looking forward to that. Following the, as I said, it's only one size, but we're aiming to have a bigger size. But for us, it's something completely new. It took us a long time. We've done hundreds of different tests, and now we are happy that what we have, we achieved the quality we were looking for, that we aim to. So in the spring we're gonna launch them, and then soon after they will be followed by more fragrances to add to the collection, and home diffusers as well, because that's what the market is asking. So this is just the very first step awarding the home fragrances territory, if you can call it like that, with Xerjoff, but it's just the beginning.
Cool. So they're not launched yet. They'll launch in the spring. Correct. And they'll be on along with the fragrances on Xerjoff Universe. That's where people can go to buy the candles. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And tell me a little bit about some of the scents that you're creating, original scents in some of the candles.
Well, I wanted to have a kind of a widespread, so we went through, I went through different kind of angles. So we have some classic, like the tuberose, green notes, the tobacco and tonka, and then something a little bit dark violet, which is something which is quite intriguing. We have one candle which is called Marrakesh tea, and this is one of my favorite, where we have tea and spices. So we have some classic, and we have something which is quite intriguing. So nice. Yeah, we have the gardenia. So we have I think that we have enough, those 7, and to explore, like I said to you, a new territory for us. But we have, I would say, enough choice for candles lovers. Again, if there was something lighter, flowery, ambery, woody, and I think there is something for everybody.
Cool.
So
do you think you'll eventually make actual perfumes out of the scents, or you'll just keep them as candles?
I don't know. Why not? I mean, I think that we always need to keep the flexibility in mind. If the market thinks that could be idea, why not? We were thinking about that. Yes.
Okay.
But it isn't. Yeah, I think that for a long time we've been trying to create candles out of the collection we already have, but it didn't work out. And for me, just to stick a name on that and then the smell doesn't match, it wasn't working. It's not our style. So after a long time, we decided to steer the boat to another direction and say, okay, let's do something completely new, and because at the end of the day, it's the performance and the quality which really matters. So we decided to go along this. But yeah, like you said, why not? If out of these 7, maybe there's something which is particularly good, we're gonna give it a try. Cool. Again, we listen to the customers.
Nice. Leave the door open. So there are 2 fragrances that haven't smelled yet that you're launching. One's called Sketchbook. Tell me a little bit about Sketchbook.
Yes. So Sketchbook is the first of a collection of ideas which are always being kind of left in the drawer. You know that a long time ago I used to be a designer. I've been into design most part of my life, and there's always been a saying in the design business that the best ideas are left in the art director's drawers. And there is a reason for that. It's because when you are a designer and not an artist, because a designer are a kind of a form of commercial artists.
Yeah.
You create something, you design something, and then it very rarely actually comes out in the market the way it was perceived. So there is a lot of compromises going through. Sometimes compromises are too much, so the best idea are kind of left in the drawer. So I always kind of, being a former designer, I always kept that in mind, and And the story of Sketchbook collection is not exactly the same, but it's been the idea has been drawn from that. I have created a lot of ideas in myself and the team in the past, but not everything can be launched. I mean, obviously there are certain kind of selection you have to do, but nevertheless there was a lot of ideas on packaging, on perfume that have been kind of left on a side. So I decided to kind of launch it and to create a collection which is pretty wild in terms of direction, in terms of color. Let me just show you the outside packaging. You see, this is
nice,
very bright, and it's a special paper. And this perfume, the collection, like you said, is called Sketchbook, but the first perfume is called Page 33, which is comes out of my sketchbook, which is obviously had to have some sort of numbers. So
the collection is called Sketchbook. The fragrances are separate.
And the perfume will all have a different page.
Okay.
So page 33, and the next one is going to be 21, and then it's going to be number 7, and so on.
Nice. Fun.
Very vibrant colors, and the logo, I don't know if you can kind of detect.
Totally see it, yeah.
Okay.
Great.
But the flacon itself is very different every time. It's always going to be 100. It's going to be always 100 ml, but the style of the flacon is going to be completely different, because that's what, like I was saying before, are all ideas which have been left in the drawer, so which I kind of I managed to take back. Now this is the number 33, page 33, and basically I will kind of send, or one of my colleagues will send you a little movie that we did. Basically, it's our flacons, which is actually sent back to Tuscany, and in Tuscany they actually erase kind of a 0.5 millimeter of glass by leaving the texture of Xerjoff. Then whatever is left is actually gold painted by hand. So this process is actually completely done by hand. And on the back, I don't know if you can see, there is a kind of a gold.
Yeah, I see that.
Where the serial number is going to be
awesome.
Hatched in there. So if you touch it, this is obviously is kind of a embossed, if you can call it like that. So it's got some kind of etheric feeling into it. But as I said, this is something which I kind of studied a long time ago. But there are many other kind of packaging design, bottle or flacon design, which we are ready to launch, and we will under the collection name called Sketchbook. So the first perfume that we launch is number 33.
Is that available now, or?
It is available now. I'm asking to. Oh, no, it's available. Hang on, I got somewhere it's written. Launch plan halfway through 2022.
Oh wow!
So within the first semester of 2022. Very Italian, I would say. Very Mediterranean as a perfume. We had the bergamot, which of course our Calabrian bergamot, which we are very fond of. We have the grapefruit. We have some apple notes. We have some light rose on the head notes.
So it's a fresh one?
It's a fresh one, but it's also spicy because we have some cinnamon, we have some touch of iris, we have some cypress note, which they give you kind of a green note, but not too much, very well balanced. Again, we have cedarwood, and again musk and amber and so on. Very interesting, I would say, very Mediterranean, even more very Italian. We are not. I don't think we are getting close to 1861 in terms of collection, because we have a spiciness which gives a kind of a character, a particular character. But I would say that yes, definitely a Mediterranean approach, not an Oriental one. Very interesting. I believe it's very, very interesting, and and the color and look and feel, I think they reflect pretty much the perfume, which is the perfume style, which is
citrus. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So then, and after that, you'll be launching a few more, but the first one in the early part of 2022.
We're gonna have one. I don't know if we maybe at the end of 2022 there's gonna be the second one. But my idea is actually I have at least five perfume extension line, whatever you want to call it, with sketchbooks to go along with it. So between 5 and 6, that is the edition that we are almost ready to finalize.
Awesome. Great.
I mean, they're based on creativity, not too much on a collection. So every perfume can be completely different from the previous one, and because there are kind of ideas which are being left on a side, so they're not part of a collection. They're not part of a bigger picture, if not being left for some reason, you know, and forgotten on a side until we decided to take some dust off and make it happen.
Nice. So then, will you launch a more intense, like a darker fragrance in the fall or winter?
Yes, we will. We will. Okay. Definitely.
They're not all going to be fresh.
No. Each single edition is going to have a character on its own. So for sure, we're going to have some oriental, some dark, and yeah, I have some good stuff in
Great.
Coming up.
Exciting. Yes. All right, Torino 21. Tell me a little bit about this one.
Well, big thing about Torino. We are hosting the ATP finals, tennis finals, for the next 5 years. So this is very important. After London, Torino is actually managed to win these very important tennis finals. So we're gonna have obviously fans of followers of tennis, of the best tennis, because as you know, the finals are obviously matched by the best players, and it's gonna every year it's gonna last for about between 8 and 10 days. So the city is becoming very much international, which it deserves. So and Xerjoff is one of the main sponsors, official main sponsors of these 5 events. So starting from this year up to the next 4, so 5 years altogether. So not only we are official sponsor, but as you may guess, we have decided to create a perfume for each year. So that's why the name Torino 21, because next year we're gonna have Torino 22 and 23 and so on, and every year we're gonna have a join the club, a JTC dedicated to that particular year.
Wow!
So this is the 50 ml, which is a look and feel that you know, because it's the JTC blue. Well, this is some part of the advertising that we're gonna have in the local newspaper, magazine, TV, and this is particularly important for us because although everything is happening in our city, it's gonna be an international event. So obviously it's gonna be broadcasted worldwide. And so this is a very important occasion for us to talk about our city to an international platform. So and
what's the fragrance all about?
I would say intriguing. I mean, we to be honest, we presented to the committee 5 different directions, because obviously the ATP committee have to say their view on the dedicated perfume, and I was quite surprised. It took something which is I'm particularly fond of. Let me give you a little hint in terms of ingredients. We have on the head nose we have mint, thyme, and basil. Okay, so again we are certainly herbal, certainly in the Mediterranean area. But then we have jasmine, and together with jasmine we have a kind of a, if you can call it, kind of a pre-blend, if you can call it like that, with rosemary, jasmine and rosemary, blackcurrant and lavender. And then we have some verbena on the base note, which is again is quite unusual, and some white musk. So it's something which is
interesting.
I think it reflects quite well this kind of a sport, which is very dynamic. It's something which something I love about tennis is that you never know when the match is going to be finishing, because you can go on forever, kind of thing. So it's really down to the strengths and the ability of the player, and then you have situation like indoor, outdoor. You have the orange tarmac, or you have different kind of a situation where it's happening. So then it's happening in Italy. It's actually happening in the north of Italy. So there is a lot of kind of ingredients which I kind of try to translate in creating this perfume, and of course has to be something which is not complex in the way. I mean, it's intriguing, but it's not complex. The reason why is because we are presenting this perfume to a very wide audience, which is coming from all over the world, visiting Torino and to come and see the finals and so on. So has to be something not obvious, has to be something intriguing, but not too difficult. Obviously, didn't have to be a nude or something which is it doesn't belong to the expectation of whoever is going to visit Turin and investing in a perfume, as well as watching the match and leaving, the expectation and the vibe and the city is going to have during those days. Quite interesting and I was quite happy that the committee, which obviously is a sport committee, so I wasn't expecting them to be particularly prepared in choose a perfume. They actually choose one of the most intriguing ones, so I'm pretty pleased with that.
Awesome. Yeah, those notes are very unique, all very herbal, aromatic.
Thyme, basil, jasmine, rosemary, blackcurrant,
wow,
and verbena. So yes.
So it'll be fresh for summer, perhaps.
Yes, but yeah, we have the blackcurrant, which gives it an interesting twist.
Fruity.
White musk, yes.
Sounds really nice.
Aromatic, yes. It's strongly aromatic, but it's quite elegant. I'm particularly fond of.
Great. So when is it?
Well, the event is gonna be in the third week of November. So that is the time where we're gonna launch it.
That's coming right around the corner.
Absolutely. It's gonna be launched, of course, in our boutique in Torino. It's gonna be launched in Sergio Universe, and then slowly it's gonna be released worldwide.
Awesome, exciting. That's it. I think we discussed everything that your launch. Well, no, we have one more thing to discuss. The blends collection. Can you tell me a little bit about this?
Yes, I can tell you a little bit because this is a very interesting collection, which I think it deserves, another of our beautiful appointment and chat. Sergio Blends is a complete new initiative. And it's called Blend, which you may say, okay, it's quite an obvious name, but in reality, the meaning is much more rich than that, because we are not talking about blending ingredients; we are talking about blending senses. So by blends, we mean that I've been working for a long time now with different kind of artists, music, design, chef, and photographer. And I'm really trying to expand the perception of perfume into other artistic disciplines, but not by matching. I don't know. It's not as simple as matching one perfume to a painting or to a photography. It's actually working with the artist from the day number one and developing together either the track, the music track, or the photography, or the recipe, or whatever. So it's something which I've been working along with the artist in order to influence each other positively, of course, in creating the perfume and the other form of art. By the other form of art, it means the music track or photography or an important recipe with an important chef and so on. So it's actually is an open table where I choose an artist, I choose the sector, and then we work together for a few months until we reach something that we are both happy, although we are working on two different universe. So this is where the blend concept comes along.
Okay.
And obviously, every project is going to be completely different, because once is, as again, it can be music, one can be architecture, one can be food, one can be photography or art, and so on. So it's blending senses. And also it's blending. It's almost like sometimes you're swapping. Like I become a musician, and musician become a perfumer. We need to be open mind and accept, even if we are not, the master in our disciplines. In nevertheless, we actually bring together forward this project. That's why the blend, like I was saying before, the word blend is got kind of a bigger meaning than what you expect, because it's not, we are not talking about blending ingredients, but we're talking about blending senses and forms of art together with perfumery. So to knock off the boundaries, to make trying to, I mean, my aim is actually to carry on introducing the perfume outside of the universe that we are kind of used to. So perfume has to be understood not only in the way we know so far, but also through other different kind of perceptions. So we need, my idea is to expand perfumery in other forms. Artistic forms obviously is kind of easier, but it's kind of a more complex than that. So we need to introduce perfume at the beginning, like I believe I'm doing now with artists, because artists always have an extra kind of sensibility from the other kind of person. So mixing sensibility, mixing experience, blending different point of view. That is what I will try to do. We are not quite ready yet, but very soon we will launch the first project. So there is a lot that we have a lot on the plate.
So yeah, you're doing a lot of stuff, but you're already doing a lot of collaborations with artists. Like, for example, when you launched this, you launched Save Me with Brian May. So is this something similar or more advanced?
Yes, yes. It is something similar, but for Brian May, it was more kind of it was a different kind of a concept, because that's his charity. So that is something which, again, we will carry on doing that with, because we always think that carry on helping as much as we can with what we do best, which is perfume. It makes sense. So 1986 and Save Me, and so all this kind of a project, they actually created in order to create a sensitive awareness for a particular subject. Doesn't matter if it's nature or children or medical research. We will carry on doing that. While Sergio Blends is more kind of an artistic, I would say, revolutionary approach into perfumery.
Okay. Awesome. That's exciting. Yeah. Wow, you guys have a big handful of stuff you're doing.
Yes. I'm driving all my colleagues crazy. In fact, they all hate me.
All right. Well, that was great to hear all about this. Thank you so much for taking time. I know you're busy. The event happens for how many more days? Tomorrow, right?
Well, actually, it will be going on for another few days, but we're gonna have tomorrow, and then halfway through on Wednesday, we're gonna pack our bags and go back home.
Awesome. And, okay. Cool. And then we'll chat again in the near future.
Absolutely. We have important topics to talk about, and for sure we will organize, some focus on the project that I kind of outlined briefly.
Yeah. Cool.
Right now.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me tell everyone that the discount code is SEB10, SEB10, which saves you 10% off of any purchases from Xerjoff Universe. And I've been talking a lot about this one. This has become one of my favorites. Save Me. Such a great fragrance, flowers and mimosa and all that good stuff. So all of these are available with that discount code. This is Coexistence. I've done a video on that as well. But even the new one is on this plan. This is the CASAFUTURA, really great rosy aromatic fragrance. So it's SEB10. It's good until the 30th of October, starting today, the 26th. Other than that, thank you again for doing this video. I hope to see you guys very, very soon in France or actually Italy. That's where you guys are.
Yes, well, thanks again for your time, and well, have a fantastic rest of the day.
Yeah, you as well. Have a good evening. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.